few more runs to take the total on to 38 for 3 and his own personal score to an unbeaten 32 when the umpires took the players off because of bad light. Sad that, because it was most entertaining and very exciting with Dilley and Willis boring in and Richards playing so many great shots. The England bowlers, well, one of them was successful, Bob Willis, with 1 wicket and 32 runs against his name. Graham Dilley 2 for 1 in 4 overs 3 maidens. And I did wonder, watching Willis coming into bowl to Vivian Richards and the way Richards treated him, if there might have been a little bit of aggro out there. Perhaps it was just the normal type aggro between top-class batsmen and top-class bowlers. At any rate, it all made for an interesting afternoon. Television. Good night. Good evening. A crucial day in this Cornhill Test Series. This match here at Old Trafford, nicely poised on the second morning. Lots of dark and rather nasty-looking clouds around, I'm afraid, and West Indies starting off at 38 for 3, play having been delayed yesterday afternoon. The not-out batsmen overnight were Vivian Richards and Alvin Kalicharan. We pick up play now with no addition to the score. Kalicharan is still not off the mark. Graham Dilley is coming in to bowl to him, and in the commentary box we have Tony Cozier and Jim Laker.
And so Kalicharan off the mark. No third man, that'll be 4 runs. Just squeezing it through that gap between fourth slip and gully. That short pulled away just wide of Larkins, and it's 4 more. So a bright start for Alvin Kalicharan. Willis with quite a stiff breeze behind him now. And that's racing away, no third man. It's yet another boundary being added to Viv Richards' total. Quite a remarkable start to the innings. 50 coming up at the start of the 11th over here. And 36 of those now to Viv Richards.
It could almost be a replay of yesterday evening, with that front foot going out to the ball and a glorious shot. 4 more to Richards. The head shaking there is probably because he didn't get the middle of the bat on that one. And it may also have jarred that spot where he was hit yesterday. Got him again. It was very dangerous when Viv Richards started to limp. He limped twice badly in Australia last year. 130 and 160. That was a very, very good shot. He waited for that. Got away off the middle of the bat. Four more. There's no third man there. One of the little luxuries captains in the modern day seem to provide for batsmen. Dilley has done all his bowling from the Warwick Road end. Just wondering if Botham may be going to switch him here to have the breeze at his back. He's bowled with plenty of pace so far in this West Indian innings. Bad luck. Great try. That would have been one of the catches of the season. Bad luck for Wayne Larkins and for Botham. It's to be Graham Dilley from the Stretford end. Richards is taking strike. That's interesting. First ball, Dilley has bowled at Richards, and it was a little beauty.
That should please more than the selectors, Richie, when you see a young England fast bowler sending the keeper up high and right to take a delivery.
A little bit airy-fairy from Viv Richards. Quite behind the line of that. Left knee's taking quite a beating out there. Richards is on 46, and suddenly he's being faced with bowling that seems to me to be a yard quicker than anything he's seen so far in this innings. Good over. Very good over from Graham Dilley, his first with the breeze. He's now bowled 7 overs, 4 maidens, and taken 2 for 11. And he's gone this time. Calichuran doesn't bother waiting, and Dickie Bird doesn't bother giving him out. Botham has struck, and the 4th wicket goes down at 67, and that's rather good for England. Get rid of Calichuran that cheaply from a ball so wide of the stumps. Caught not by Botham 13.
And Alwyn, who's not had a very good year, it's there to hit, but unfortunately he gets this thin edge to be caught behind.
It's cleverly bowled. But Lloyd is still off the mark. Botham there going wide on the return crease, wide on the bowling crease, and out towards the return crease. Still bowling the outswinger, or to the left-hander, one that comes in from outside the off stump. Leg by signalled. .50 to Viv Richards. This morning, not always with the ball finding the exact middle of the bat, but a delightful innings nonetheless. 48 balls he's faced, and he's hit 10 fours, and he's been in only 64 minutes. Lloyd's favourite strokes away through mid-wicket. Some very good timing there. Did it all Jeff Boycott's speed. Cut off that boundary, Lloyd still picked up 3. Good move in the field, Jeff Boycott. 39 years of age, but not too many fitter cricketers around. No third man again. Too many captains around in my day, Mike, who were kind enough to leave out the third man from their field placings.
This is a position that the West Indies seem to get away with, Richie. It's quite incredible with 4 fast bowlers, and they consistently don't have a third man. As you say, when in the years that I played, it was almost one of the first positions that a fast bowler wanted. Unless he'd got 4 men in the ring, he seemed to hate this 4 off the edge.
Dilley be disappointed at that. Leg byes to go onto the total. not much doubt in my mind that he's trying to bowl Clive Lloyd behind his pads. Lloyd has this movement shuffling across the batting crease. Dilley's been firing it in there around about leg stump every time the left-hander gets up there. Here's Ian Botham.
Perfect line just outside off stump, left him off the wicket. And Viv Richards was very close to getting a snick to Alan Knott.
Ian Botham in his fourth over here this morning. It's good to see him bouncing into the wicket once again. First time, I think, we've seen that this year. Very nearly dragged that on. And looks a completely different bowler here. Restored to fully fitness. Wasn't the ball, in fact. A little bit close for him to try that chop shot, even for the great Richards. A limited amount of test match cricket. As you can see, this is on his third game. And just 5 wickets today. 2 of them have come so far in this innings. And I think this is certainly the best that I personally have seen Graham Dilley bowl. Be it a test match or a county match. He's bowled exceedingly well here to date. Good length, good line. Seems to have ironed out the run. Good run to the wicket. Just still a little chest on, but certainly a vast improvement. Botham has gone on to 147 wickets with that one of Calicharan. Remarkable performance. Only 28 matches, 147 wickets. If he plays till 35, goodness knows how many he's going to notch. Bob Willis around that boundary there. It's 2 runs to Lloyd. And the consistency with which he's taken these wickets, of course, is quite surprising. 5 wickets in an innings, no less than 14 times. 10 wickets in a match on the 3 occasions, and 8 for 34 is his best performance. Clive Lloyd finding those gaps in the onside quite nicely. We'll pick up a brace of 2s in this over. Players off for around 40 minutes here this morning when it really looked very miserable and dark. But, plenty of cloud around, but it's brightened up considerably. And certainly at the moment, shouldn't be any problem at all with the light. Just the 1 wicket to go down this morning. Kelly Jerome caught not bowled Botham for 13. Murray, Roberts, Garner, Marshall and Holding. And 91 for 4 with Bob Willis coming back into the attack. Really savaged by Richards earlier in this innings. And he's off to him again. That's how announced the arrival by crashing him through the offside for 4.
Well, here's Bob Willis bowling way wide of Richards off stump again. And I can't think that that's good tactics to a player of Richards' power. Richards very strong on the leg side, of course. But you can always put fielders to the strength of a batsman. But here we've got a split field, 4-5, and Richards is simply making hay.
And coming to the office for more. It's a surprising bowling change this. It's gone on to 99. And Richards taken such a great liking to Bob Willis in this innings. But poor old Bob's coming back for more punishment here. And England's premier quick bowler reduced now to a single slip and extra covers. And just as well, the 3rd man is there. It's 1 run, 3 figures coming up for West Indies. And we're coming up in the remarkably quick time of 23 overs. And the reason it's come up so rapidly, of course, is the fact that Richards now has made 65 of that 100. So poor old Bob Willis, 8 overs, 1 for 53. I think just about all those runs have come from the bat of Viv Richards. In fact, it's quite unusual. Wendy Wimbush just tells me that all 53 runs have come from Bob Willis's bowling, have been struck by Richards. So he's only taken 12 off the other England bowlers to date. Chance to add a few more now as he faces Ian Botham. And he's bowled him all over the place. Tremendous performances by Botham, and a critical blow. Couldn't have come at a better time. The end of a magnificent innings there from Viv Richards. And one man out there, Bob Willis, will be so relieved to see the back of him. So Botham has done it yet again for England. And West Indies now 100 for 5, with Richards going for 65, the leg stump being flattened, knocked right out of the ground. And I'm quite sure a lot of that applause from the England players is in relief, as well as acknowledging yet another fine half-century. Well, that certainly has levelled out this game. It's a very even keel now, and England yet again indebted to their bowlers. A good diving sprawl in the end by Dilley out there. It meant that Murray just got a single. So he's away. That's a short one. Bob Willis never picked that up. It's often very difficult down on that boundary. Even brings a smile from both of Bob. As anybody's fielded down at long leg on this ground knows, the ball goes into the crowd. It's often very difficult to sight to begin with. That's edged away this time. Very lucky 4 runs for Clive Lloyd. Could really have gone anywhere. 3 slips and a gully away at him, but it missed the lot. And that's through mid-off. Very straight. Brian Rose giving chase, just about pull that up. See the bit of greasy turf too down there. That's that steady little bit of drizzle we've had just lately.
Well, a great morning that for England, and in particular for Ian Botham. 2 wickets there. The prize wicket of Vivian Richards for 65. Alvin Cullitch around for 13. But I thought the best bowling of the morning came from Graham Dilley. He really has been a surprise packet here. A fine performance from him. And sadly for England anyway, 228 minutes of play lost then. The players weren't able to come back until late in the afternoon, and that was very, very sad for the good crowd present who really were cheering on Ian Botham and his men. We pick up play now with 5 runs added after the resumption. It's the 2nd over. Ian Botham is coming in to bowl to Derek Murray, and in the commentary box, Ted Dexter and Jim Laker.
Ian Botham very much back in the old routine here today. That's a nice forcing shot off the back foot. A couple of runs in there for Derek Murray. Well, not the most distinguished of shots there from Derek Murray, never ever in line. It picks up 4 runs for it. A solid average there, 42.76. Murray's gone on to 14. It's a full toss this time from Dilley. Puts it away through the offside. And some enthusiastic running there by 3 of the England men. It was Brian Rose in the end who fired it in. It takes the score on to 151, 152, and gives West Indies lead here on first innings. And he's bowled him with a beauty. Well, as good a ball as he's let loose all day there from Botham. Finally got through this pretty impregnable defence here of Derek Murray. And that wicket for England couldn't have come at a better time, because these two were looking quite a formidable partnership. 154 for 6. Comfortable single sees Malcolm Marshall off the mark. Slightly more defensive now for Lloyd. Just the 2 slips remaining. And dug that one in again. Made Clive Lloyd hurry. So Graham Dilley taking his sweater after a really admirable spell of bowling. 16 overs in all, 2 for 32, and could very easily have added a couple more wickets to his haul here today. Bob Willis, of course, will come back with the aid of this stiff breeze. The idea being to keep the quicker bowlers going at this end with the breeze behind them. And I'm sure Big Bob will be looking for some compensation. Marshall taking a leaf out of Richards' book, hammering Bob Willis. Straight for 4. Blooded swing of the bat, fine shot.
Botham now to Clive Lloyd. Oh, what a good attempt that was, and what a great catch it would have been. A couple of great efforts in the field out there from the England players. Wayne Larkins missed a very difficult one, and now Brian Rose has put down Clive Lloyd. But it would have been an absolute blinder. And around the wicket now, Bob Willis with Lloyd on 49. And there's the half-century for the West Indian captain. Dropped a short time ago by Brian Rose at cover, a most difficult chance. And here he is halfway towards his ambition of striking 100 in this his final appearance in a test at Old Trafford. 50 came up in 81 balls and included 4 boundaries. Good shot again. It's 2 good boundaries this over by Marshall, and applause from Clive Lloyd. There's a lovely stroke. 2 slightly over-pitched balls there. This, the last ball of the over. Although, in fact, in the end, Marshall had to play a little bit at the pitch of it. But he certainly got it away right off the middle. Willis to Lloyd. It's a little ambitious. Willis's pace has dropped a bit this afternoon. Clive Lloyd was just waiting there for that short pitch delivery coming from around the wicket. 46 ahead. Clive Lloyd's team, and the skipper still there in this delightful Old Trafford sunshine. What a good shot. There's a no ball. Bob Willis has bowled 11 no balls now. And there's the 200 up for West Indies, 50 ahead. And every run made, it makes it a little more difficult for England. And this will be a surprise for everyone, including Dickie Bird at the bowler's end. We're going to see a spin bowler in action in this Old Trafford Test match. It's Embury to bowl to Malcolm Marshall, who's on 50. Nice, well caught. And well bowled, Graham Dilley. Gooch caught him at first slip. Marshall's gone for 18, 209 for 7. And a spirited effort from Graham Dilley here today. Just going away to his right-hand side, and a delighted Botham alongside Gooch there. This is his first ball now from Graham Dilley. It's well bowled, good Yorker, even though Roberts does get off the mark. Should have been. John Embury, bad luck for him, and Graham Gooch, I sense that may have come a little slower than Gooch anticipated. Round the wicket, Embury. Clear of Alan Knott. And Graham Gooch put it down. And you just can't afford to give Clive Lloyd 2 chances there. I think perhaps Alan Knott, in moving fractionally to his left there, might have put Graham Gooch off, but that was a bad miss and one that England can ill afford. 4 more runs added towards the end there to make it 219 for 7, with Andy Roberts remaining 4 not out. A lead of 69 for the West Indies and 3 wickets in hand. And the England bowling today, quite excellent. I thought Willis up the top there took some hammer from Richards and then from Clive Lloyd. But Dilley was most impressive. 20 overs, 6 maidens, 3 for 35. Botham bowled extremely well. The first time he's bent his back, or been able to bend his back this summer. 16 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 53. And what a good striking rate there's been so far in this Cornhill Test match. The bowling rates mightn't be all that great at 11 and 13, but England scored at 51 runs per 100 balls when they batted for their 150. West Indies have scored 65.17 runs per 100 balls, and when you think that the normal scoring rate in Test matches is something around 42, 43, then that really is marvellous entertainment for the people at Old Trafford, and also we hope for television viewers at home in the warmth of their living rooms. Well, tomorrow, the West Indies, with their 69-run lead, 3 wickets there, have Clive Lloyd as the man who can swing this match for them, as he did against Australia in Adelaide in what was his final test in Australia. He batted magnificently there, making a century, and he's looking for another 21 runs to make his first century at Old Trafford. A marvellous player, and if he plays any more shots like this...
record, and he